Here we go again. I mean, this is the truth show, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. Oh, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. I mean, this is the truth show. Oh, yes.
Hello, 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 everyone. Just waiting for more people to come in the room. And then we'll get started because this is, I said I wasn't going to go live, but I had so much stuff to talk about. Whew, I was like, I have to tell them about this, even though, you know, I feel like I'm wasting my time, but nothing else to do. I'm bored. So we definitely have a lot to talk about. We're just going to wait for more people to come in the room. Let me know you guys can definitely hear me. How y'all doing on this Tuesday evening? I know it's been a lot going on these days. Hi, Alicia. How you doing? I know it's been a lot going on in the news. Oh, wow. I went deep diving this time, and I'm a little afraid to even, I'm not going to talk about politics. No politics this time. I decided not to do that. Oh, thank you, Shakir. Hey, Shakir, I did notice that you were commenting when I did a random live show with my daughter. So just to, you know, let you know, one day, if you like, I will love for you or anyone else, for that matter, to be presented or come forth with their testimony and story. One day, if that's something you guys want to do, we can have a little private chat and we can tell our testimonies, our stories, our journeys. That is something we can definitely do. Just let me know in the comment section if that's something that you guys are not, you know, not too, you know, resilient. I can't even think of the words, or, you know, don't mind doing. So just let me know if that's something you guys won't mind doing, because I won't mind hearing your testimonies or anything of the nature. I really won't. Anyway, so let's just go ahead and get the show started here. There's so much tea. Oh my gosh, there's so much tea. Oh, so much tea. Oh my gosh. Just want to say hello, my truth seekers. My name is Keisha. Welcome to the Truth Show. In this live show, I'm going to chat about a bunch of blind items. I finally found the website for the blind items, and that's because I actually looked this time. I never really looked before, but this time I was like, I'm going to look this time. So that's what I did. I found the blind items, and they are so accurate because during the trial with P. Diddy and screw over here, sorry. Yeah, during the trial with P. Diddy, Cassie, hi Indra, how you doing, everyone? During the trial with P. Diddy, I noticed that, oh, well, salute from Washington. Good, good. How you doing? I noticed that Cassie and a lot of the other witnesses were mentioning things that I talked about during a blind item, and also during passing, and, you know, things of that nature. I was like, so those blind items were the truth. I don't know who's leaking these blind items, but whoever is leaking them are just seriously, I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so the blind items are true. Fantastic. And I found those blind items, and I'm going to talk about those blind items. So let's do that. So just for anyone who just came in, my camera is there. So when I look up there, I'm looking at the camera and, of course, my script. And my navigation to my software and reading your comments over to my left to your right. The navigation to my slideshow is to my right to your left. So you're going to see me looking this way, this way, this way, and then sometimes over here. So I can look at my other sites and see if there's anything that I'm missing over there as well. Okay? All right, fantastic. Let's go ahead and get the show started because there's so much juicy tea. You guys feeling good? Okay, that's good. And I'm glad you're feeling good. Fantastic. Share, share, share. Hit the like button, you guys. Share, share, share. Hit the like button. Okay, here we go. All right. So in these blind items, the scoop on Diddy trial. So this trial. So let me just say something. Is this trial really going to happen 5 days a week for the rest of the month? I'm just curious. Because it feels like a full-time job here, doesn't it? So I'm picking up some more behind-the-scenes stuff. In the midst of this, I'm picking up more behind-the-scenes stuff from Kanye West, from last year, Metgala, plus Steve Harvey's. I'm doing a Steve Harvey's throwback. Okay, so Shakir, you said you don't mind doing that. Good, fantastic. Girl, I heard about Usher. I'm not Usher. He's been talking about Diddy for a long time now. That's something that's been, you know, in the media for a while now. I don't think he's going to be called to the stand, though. I don't think he's going to be called to the stand. I really don't. They said I can show the comments on stage. Let me see how that's going to work out. Oh, in the corner over there. So it shows in the corner. Well, I'll figure that out later. Anyway, I'm doing a Steve Harvey throwback because I ran across some Steve Harvey news and I was like, I'm going to do something. I have to do a Steve Harvey throwback. So I'm doing a Steve Harvey throwback. So in mind, let's go ahead and do it. He is, yes. Oh, I said I was going to put yes, Usher is definitely, he's been telling this side of the story for a long time. Put that up there so people can know I'm answering these questions. And yes, Diddy is associated with several stars. Several, yeah. Hey, Alicia, are you the same Alicia that's been following me this entire time? Did you get married? I'm just curious. Oh, and to see myself in the camera in your comments is also to my left, to your right. Just want to know if you're married. So anyway, here, but let me just, give a quick note here. So again, I should have said this before. I don't know why I didn't link this. Let me go ahead and put that link up here for you guys. Because just a second here. Let me find the link. Just a quick note, if you are interested in supporting The Truth Show, I could really use some help to hire a private investigator, a lawyer, and keep my channel going because I'm not getting paid any money on here. Seriously, my check's about $100. And I know I've been on this channel for numerous of years. I know my journey. Whoever's been ride and die for me since day one, you know my journey. And you know a lot of things that I talked about for a long time are now coming up now. So you guys probably say, I heard that before. You more than likely heard it from me. So if you could please, I'm going to put a link in the chat. I'm going to pin it to the chat. I'm trying to raise $2,000. That's for my lawyer fee and the private investigator to take my case to court and to represent me. A friend of my husband referred him. Hence, my husband and I are really drowning in medical bills for him and just bills in general. And I shared all of these details in private details, my pay, all of it on all my platforms. I put an emotional paragraph about myself, and it's in my blog as well. You can look at it in my blog, and I have it in my community post, everything in there. You guys should click it because I give you guys a literally inside peek how much I'm really getting paid here. They really are blacklisting me here. You guys think I'm joking? My numbers are manipulated. I talk about it repeatedly. I don't know if you guys just think I'm just rambling, but it's the truth. So I haven't blacklisted because of some information that's come out. And it's still coming out about Diddy, Jay-Z, Steve Harvey, whoever, and his wife and others. Hey, do you guys remember that video I made a while back? I don't know if I have some old school people here, anyone who's been riding down with me for a long, long, long time. So if you guys can, is there anybody in the comment section that's been with me for years and years and years? Because I think I have nothing but new people here. I just want to know if there's some ride and die people here. I'm going to this link here in the chat. This is the link if anyone want to donate. So I'm just going to put donate here. This is the link. I'm going to pin it to the chat. There it is right there. I pinned it to the chat. So when you want to donate, you just click that link there, and I really appreciate it. But anyway, this video I did about Steve Harvey, about his wife being alleged kingpin, apparently it's starting a trend again on TikTok, and people are just now realizing. And I made this video, gosh, almost 10 years ago. I made it some time ago. And that video was the video I put on my KISHA'S Gossip page. And, well, let's say it was this new video because the truth show, I never really showed my face. When I initially started going on YouTube, I never showed my face. It was just my voice. And I'm able to fluctuate the tone of my voice repeatedly, you know, just entertainment purposes and identity purposes, because I'm dealing with identity fraud as well because of embezzling. So I'm dealing with that and credit, you know, people. It's crazy. So anyway, so I made a channel, KISHA'S Gossip. That was the first KISHA'S Gossip I did. I made that channel. And the first video that I made was the Steve Harvey video. Take a look at the video here. Here's the video here.
My wealth, and for me to move on with my life without my son, to have access to my son, that's not water under the bridge for me.
Yeah, he got custody. Why did he get custody of the son?
He got custody because he bullied me in court. He told the courts that I was nobody. No one was going to listen to me. He said that I was not capable of raising Winton, not capable of providing a home environment for him.
So meanwhile, his ex-wife is pleading for her life, basically, and for care of their son. While he's up with the new wife in mansions, with fancy cars and things, with his wife, current wife, supposedly, who have made a secret deal with the feds to put her drug king lord exes in jail so she can take control of their empire. Yeah, that's the rumor that's going around here. Then coincidentally, after she started dating Steve, or shortly after she started dating Steve Harvey, he got a gig on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and then later getting a gig on Family Feud, and then later he landed his own talk show. All coincident? I don't think so. His career was looking great. He had the good-looking girl. He was writing books that was turning into movies. He was on top of the world. But remember, what goes around comes around. So on May 24th, 2017, his Steve Harvey talk show ended. And it was told that the scandals are the reason why it ended. Oh, the scandals don't stop there. Y'all remember when I said that Majorie was the ex-wife to some drug lords? Come closer, I got something to tell you. Steve Harvey is covering up links that's from his wife, Majorie, who had helped run massive cocaine smuggling rings. Oh, yes, you see, the FBI have been investigating Steve Harvey and Majorie for the past 3 months. Now, this is according to documents. You know, Marjorie, former husbands, remember whom I said ran smuggling rings, they used to move hundreds of kilos of narcotics between Houston and Memphis, who Steve Harvey coincidentally married in 2007, whom also came under FBI investigation and the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency while she was still married to drug lord Jim L. Townsend, who did nearly 3 decades because of it. Okay, it seems that Jim, you know, the ex-husband to Marjorie, the one who did Hard Time, it seems during the exclusive interview, he said that he was forced to cooperate with the feds at the time and take a plea deal because they claimed to have had substantial evidence against Marjorie and was threatening to take her to jail. So you have to understand, at the time, Marjorie was 8 months pregnant with their child at the time, their son, Jason. And Jim felt a little bit pressured because he was worried that their daughter, Morgan, will grow up without a mother. So he did the right thing at the time, and he just took the deal. Then Jim continues on to say that his brother, Terry, this is what he says. He said there was Marjorie, and then there was Terry. Terry, his brother, they were kind of part of the plea bargain. Now, then he goes on to say they cut a deal that wouldn't indict either of them. And then he goes on to say, yes, they were involved, but he was supposedly the ringleader. It seems that Jim Townsend was charged with buying almost 90 pounds of cocaine. And Jim was later sentenced to about 26 years to life in prison. That's until President Barack Obama gave him 11th hour pardon in January 2017 of this year, whereas Jim claimed his daughter had connections through this big top Washington lawyer, you know, who supposedly have arranged this deal with President Barack Obama. But it was actually Majorie connections, from what I hear on the streets, with the drug and sex ring that convinced the lawyer to convince Obama. Think about it. Then, of course, Majorie split from Jim about 5 years into his sentence. And then she quickly moved on to this other dealer, supposedly, called Donnell Woods. And then she later had her third child, her daughter, Lori, with Donnell in 1997, and they married 3 years later. Oh, it gets deeper. You see, around that time, FBI started to investigate Donnell and his kin in another drug smuggling operation. Donnell and 9 others were literally peddling more than 300 pounds of cocaine. 300 pounds of cocaine and about 250 pounds of marijuana. Of course, he pleaded guilty to a lesser charge and was sentenced to only 37 years in federal prison. And then, of course, later, Majorie divorced his ass too in 2001 and plunged into a brief romance with Steve Bodyguard, Big Boom, a former pimp who admitted to preying women with Steve. Then the little hoe began seeing Steve like, you know what? Hey, you know what? I can get with Steve. Yeah, she's moving up the ladder. I know she's a little slut. Then they wed in 2007, and he became the stepfather to her already 3 kids to the 3 drug kings, supposedly.
There you go. Yeah. Told you guys. That was the first video that I came out with. That was one of the first videos that I came out with. Actually, that was the first video I came out with, KISHA'S Gossip. That video garnered over 1 million views in less than 48 hours. It really put my first channel, in terms of me showing my face, KISHA'S Gossip, on the map. I was monetized in less than a week. Consequently, after a month of doing really well, it became into that, well, it becomes into reality that Harvey, Diddy, Beehive, and Wendy Williams, that may have, one of them may have got my channel demonetized and blacklisted. It was a tough couple of years for you guys. After that, I decided to shut down my, my channel myself. I was getting a lot of threats at the time too, emails, threats. It was crazy. I really don't know how some celebs or whatever, I don't know how they have ties with the YouTube staff and managed to have my channel demonetized so quickly. It feels like I was targeted way more than others, especially when there are channels out there saying worse things than I ever did. Now, I'm still working on the contrary. Anyway, having that said, and even more, I have a lot more stories than that. Before we get started, here are your warnings. Yes, I was one of the first. Yes, I told the truth and I dived deeper fast. Yes. And I got threatened a lot, and they totally screwed my channel up. I mean, seriously, it was, and ever since then, it's been kind of a tug of war. But my channel has never looked the same since. It's like they have me on some. One time I did manage to go into my channel's grid and change it because they had my channel viewing and being seen in where parts of America. Like they had me going to MAGA states. They have my channel streaming only in like 5 different locations in America. So that's why a lot of people weren't getting streams. I went in and deleted it, but I haven't been able to get back in it again. So they probably changed it again. So yes, they're definitely manipulating my views and channels on here. And I was looking at, because if you go to socialblade.com, you get to see how much the other YouTubers are getting paid. And I was thinking, like, some of these YouTubers are not even diving deep at all. They're literally just surface reporters. They surface reporters and they read whatever the blogs say. And they are getting paid. I saw one YouTuber getting paid $13,000 a month. I saw another YouTuber getting paid $37,000 a month, standing in a $5 million mansion. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, seriously, they talk worse things than me, and I'm the one who's getting blacklisted. So among these little women, I get singled out. Why am I getting singled out? Never understood that in a million freaking years. My journey is ridiculous. I got people following me and shit. I can't go out alone. Getting threats almost on a freaking daily basis. Are you freaking kidding me? Don't know how I'm gonna pay my bills. I mean, it's really hard over here. You guys think I'm just balling out of control? No, we are struggling. We are fucking struggling. Seriously. But just saying, you know, if you want to help us out, I understand if you don't want to, just to click the link above that's pinned to the comment section. With that said, here are your warnings.
Please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all of my information. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy.
All right, let's get started here. All right, first up in here, of course, continue on with the Steve Harvey stuff. Now, as you saw in that video, that flashback video back in the day, yeah, that was all me, all me. That was almost 10 years ago. Not much has really changed. I still look the same. Still look the same. Anyway, so let's continue. As you saw and you heard in that video, Steve Harvey, who has since, hold on for a second, let me take that back. Who had since cleaned up his image despite his sketchy past. Now, he has become someone who gives excellent advice, life advice, quotes, whatever. He seemed to be pretty right on when it comes to life struggles and advice and things of that nature. I have to give him that. He'd be giving some really good advice for a person who had a really sketchy past and seemed to be kind of shallow, you know. So, and he seemed to love his wife very much. I mean, he's been with her for years. They always say that it always takes the first or second wife to mold a man into the perfect man. And then it's either the second or third wife that ends up getting a man that it took the first and second wife or girlfriend years to mold into. So all that hard work, all the dirty deeds and the crap that he did with his first two wives, the shit that he put them through, all that bullshit that he put them through, she reaped the benefit of all their struggles. You know what I'm saying? And it's really fucked up. You know, like, okay, now the same thing I think with Gabrielle Union, you know, with Dwayne Wade. He treated his ex-wife like shit. I did a video about him, you know, went deep diving into the wife and everything. Did a really deep video. And he treated his wife like complete, utter shit. Seriously, like she was just nothing to him. And left her pretty much broke. You know, I think she went to school, got her degree or something along those lines. But then he gets with Gabrielle Union. He's this upstanding, honorable, doting husband and father and completely 180 degrees different. So it's like, okay, well, damn. It took the first wife, and I'll tell him how many girlfriends between or before, to mold him into who he is right now. So I guess for seeing the aftermath of the chaos that he put his other wives to and through, she is reaping those benefits. And she's a gorgeous woman. So now he has this beautiful mixed side piece, you know, next to him. You know what I'm saying? So, however, moving right along here, we are living in the days where the truth veil has been lifted and people past transgressions, sins, terrible deeds that left many tears, heartbreaks, and even death in their path are coming back to haunt many people. You're going to hear a lot more truth, a lot more things coming out in the forefront. Towers are going to be pretty much tumbled and broken and destroyed. With that said, here's another look at another validation from me of information that I spilled years ago. Remember, I spoke about this years ago and I got lynched, blacklisted, and had to shut down my entire channel because of what they are talking about right now that I talked about almost 10 years ago. But take a listen to this. Nothing happened to them, but you know my journey.
Lori Harvey.
100% like nasty mama. Narcissistic sociopath. She learned from her mama.
Yo, crazy.
If you know the history on her mama.
Yeah, it's bad.
Allegedly dealing with two cousins at the same time. They were drug kingpins in Memphis. And she was playing. Oh, she's a mess. All I gotta say is do the research on her. It's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, listen, I'm intrigued with that whole thing. Like,
and sleeping with Steve behind his wives' backs. I believe 2 of his wives. He's married 3 times. So she was a willing side chick. Didn't care, was calling the house, spoke to the wives. Marjorie didn't care. And she basically, you know, as he told the story, he couldn't do nothing with Marjorie because he was broke at the time. It wasn't until his career took off that they got back together. She said, you call me when you have some money. You won't fuck it. He's not a handsome man.
And he had earpiece the whole time.
Oh man, that wig is horrible. That unit or whatever you want to call it. But
yo, the man lied to me for years. That hairline was fire. It was fake. Come on, man.
Yeah. Did you guys know that? You guys probably didn't know that, did you? Oh my gosh. You probably didn't know that. Yeah, the hairpiece he wore back in the day, you know, back in the day doing his stand-up comedy routines, it was a hairpiece. Yes. It was a hairpiece. He didn't have no hair. His hairline was receding. He was wearing a hairpiece. Now, he probably got hair plugs since then. I'm not sure, but he's bald head now. But before then, he was wearing a hairpiece. And I thought it was real. I'm like, dude, I thought it was real, but it turned out it was a hairpiece. That was kind of hilarious when I heard about that. Yeah, that's what this video is recent. There's validation right there. All right, moving right along here. Okay, it seems that Trump is calling out Beyonce, Bruce Springsteen, and more pertaining to Kamala Harris's rally. As you all know, Trump is having, and I'm not sure, is this parade going on right now? Can somebody tell me in the comment section if he's having this parade right now? He's supposed to have a parade in Washington, D.C. or something. Is that going on right now? Let me see, because I am not paying attention to that. He's supposed to have some kind of parade. You know, I'm the greatest, I'm the king of the universe kind of parade. He's supposed to be having that going on right now. I'm going to see. Well, let me know in the comment section. So he's supposed to have a parade, which is costing us taxpayers millions of dollars. But as I told you, Trump doesn't care about money. He's used to spending what he wants without any consequences and leaving others to clean up his mess. Anyway, the narcissistic Cheeto has been whining about why and how Kamala Harris was able to get big-time celebrities to attend and or perform at her rallies, and not his, especially this parade. He's mad because no one's trying to, you know, play for him. So he's bringing up Kamala Harris's rally in comparison to this current event. Now, the narcissistic Cheeto thinks they paid. He think they paid them to perform at her rallies. You see, Trump still believes most Americans voted for him. He thinks the millions of people who marched recently were majority of individuals who voted for him, but then changed their minds. So he thinks all these people who rallied and did their marches and pretty much whatever the case may be, he think they all, well, majority of them were recent voters of him, and they just changed their mind recently, and, you know, whatever the case may be. He's still thinking in his mind that he actually won fair and square. Most Americans loved him because I guess he hasn't dealt with reality that Elon Musk rigged the fucking election and he did not win any fucking thing. Now, I'm not sure why they're not investigating that, but let me just say this, no, Cheeto, most of the people who marched or voted for Kamala were pissed. They were pissed people and confused how the fuck you won, because the voting turnout was more than any voting ever. There were so many new registered votes. A lot of votes didn't getting counted. Ballot boxes was getting burnt up. They end up announcing the winner in 4 hours that include mail-in ballots, and then they claimed they did an investigation prior, and that's why it took them so long to have the Electoral College officially announce him as the winner. Bullshit. You see, most of the people who voted for Trump, you know, the ones who really voted for him, the brainwashed ones, are still praising him online. And the others are just surprisingly quiet. Now, why? As I said, I researched and made a video about this more and more. You can find it on my pages, The Truth Show. That because Elon Musk and his homeboys, and maybe even Putin, not sure, Putin is still a maybe, rigged the election for you, Donald Trump. Whether you want to believe it or not, or maybe you forgot, I'm not sure, maybe the dementia is kicking in, I don't know. Why are they investigating this? Why are they investigating this? They should be investigating this, but they haven't investigated it. This orange Cheeto is thinking that he won fair and square. No, no one voted for you. I know for a fact the swing state that they claim that turned red did not turn red. That was bullshit. They need to investigate this before things get too freaking out of hand. That's another thing. Donald Trump is not a blonde. He has like dark brown, black hair. Why is his hair blonde all the time? He is not a blonde. He was born, and back in the day, if you look at pictures, he had either dark brown or black hair. He is not a real blonde. He just started dyeing his hair blonde to mimic somebody he idolized back in the day. So, Mr. Cheeto, with that said, Beyonce, Bruce Springsteen, and more weren't paid to do a damn thing, especially Beyonce. She has always been about female empowerment and liberty. And of course, she was going to support Kamala, and you wouldn't have to pay her to do so. I mean, let's be realistic here. So let's move on to other blind items, because I'm not talking about him. I just want to talk about him to straighten that out right quick. Now, the first blind item we're going to talk about is Kanye West and North. It has been reported, yes, his own supporters definitely turned against him. Definitely. Okay. It has been reported in the blind item, and I'm going to speak verbatim. It says here, A-list rapper should have mentioned is last year's big fashion event when his daughter was left to wander the streets alone. But he can't do that because, this is really crazy. He can't do that because of him leaving her alone, surrounded by a bunch of people. Yes, he left her alone. Yes, that's why he left her alone. Because he was surrounded by a bunch of people doing drugs and getting naked. That's why he left her alone. Kanye West, during the last year Metgala, when she was wandering around, he went off to get naked and do some. That's why Northwest was, left wandering around, because he went to go get naked. Yeah. Yes. Now it says here, but he can't do that because him leaving her alone, surrounded by a bunch of people doing drugs and getting naked. He couldn't leave her alone while he was surrounded by a bunch of, people doing drugs and getting naked. Yeah, so he went to do drugs and have a big ass fucking orgy, probably with his wife or whatever. Yes, that's why he left her roaming the streets. And that is a fact. Here is the Metgala from last year. Listen to this. See, this is when he left her to go get naked and do drugs.
Oh my God.
Allegedly.
He looks small.
Best friend. This video of Northwest alone at the Met Gala while Kim, Kylie, and Kendall were posing away, and she was just like left alone. Well, I'm sure she had bodyguards and stuff, but you know what? This triggered something in me. Do you guys? This is like our version of when we went grocery shopping with our moms, and she would forget something like, "Oh, I forgot my Slim Fast. I'll be right back." And we were the next ones in line, and the cashier, we just felt like she was rushing the persons in front of us things just to get it, to us, and then she's gonna be like, where's your mom? And you're like, I don't know. Like, that was the scariest thing in the whole entire world when we were kids. Yes or no, bitch? When you're stuck in line and you're up next and you have to pay and your mom is nowhere to be found and you're like, mom, and she's over there choosing which flavor of Slim Fast she wants to drink in this week. Anyways, I'm drinking my Slim Fast. I'm drinking my sea moss. Cheers, bitch. This is my morning routine, by the way, mixed with a little bit of by the way, this is
I've actually done the apple cider. Ugh, that stuff is gross. I guess if you make it with some vinegar or something, it might taste good, but that shit is nasty. Yuck. I got some more blind items for you. Anyway. Oh, let me go back to that actually. Now, you all remember this, right? Y'all remember now. Remember, Kim didn't say anything. She didn't even badmouth Kanye to the press and say, why you leave my daughter so you can have some orgy naked fest? She didn't say anything. I mean, and she was the one being blamed. They was blaming her, like, what happened to Kim? She was just with Northwest. That's what happened. She left Northwest with her father. And her father left his own daughter, allegedly, so he can have orgy and have drugs. That's what happened. That's why she wasn't there. I thought it was weird that Kim would just leave Northwest like that. That didn't sound like him. I mean, her, I meant to say. But now I know why. Because she left Northwest with Kanye. And Kanye left her so he can have an orgy. Allegedly. But that's what the blind item said. And in this particular tea here, it seems like Tom Hanks has a side piece. Yes, Tom Hanks may have a side piece. I'm not even lying. Listen to this. Faster than Smokey Robinson can get from a nail salon to groping a housekeeper, this married permanent A-list actor with a shelf of awards called his favorite side piece the second his wife flew out of town to attend an event this week. This is the event they're talking about here. Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, in the ACM Awards. Yes. So after they attended this awards, whatever the case may be, Tom Hanks flew off in his little jet to go see his side piece. Apparently, allegedly, him and Rita Wilson have an arranged marriage. They are not together for love. They have an arranged marriage. And that is a fact. Yep, that's what was told, that they have an arranged marriage. They have an arranged marriage. So apparently Tom Hanks been cheating on Rita Wilson for a number of years, but long as they be on a red carpet, smiling and giggling, whatever, everything's good and everything's great. So that's the arranged marriage. Hi, Sasha. Okay, moving right along here. And the next line item here, it says here, now this is a really juicy tea. You guys probably want to share this. It's pretty interesting. I don't even know if I should even talk about this, but we're going to talk about it. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. So it seems Beyonce. It seems the main reason why Beyonce has allowed Blue Ivy to wear makeup, because it has been a real stigma. People wonder, like, why is Blue Ivy wearing all this makeup? Why? Why is she allowing her to wear all this makeup? This is not good. I mean, it's just really bad. People are wondering why. Well, apparently, they're allowing Blue Ivy to wear makeup, padded bras, and look so much older than she is because allegedly they're not happy with what I believe Blue Ivy look very beautiful. She's a beautiful young lady. They're not too cute, or they're not too favoring her facial features because she has her father's nose and some of her father features, allegedly. I'm not lying. This is what they're saying. Their words, not mine. This is what it's saying. It says here, for Friday, Mama Bear and one of the most image-obsessed families in the business. Insiders are saying the heir, Blue Ivy, to a global empire is already feeling the weight of not fitting the brand. She's been handing Grammys, red carpet moments, and front row seats for her mother, Beyonce, superstardom. But behind the scenes, there's tension that no amount of spotlight can cover. Allegedly, Queen Mama and Grandma Matriarch, you know, her own book, Tina Knowles' book, March Matriarchs, which, by the way, is completely embellished. I had to start reading because I was getting so fucking, and I was catching her in so many lies, and I know because I researched them. She's like at least 2-3 years behind of everything, most of the things she said in that book, and she embellished and lied about a lot of shit that she said happened that did not happen. I'm just saying, and I'm gonna break it down and put it in my blog one day. But yes, we'll talk about that another day. Anyway, so Queen Mama and Grandma Matriarch, Tina knows, are privately frustrated that the princess of the dynasty didn't inherit mother of her mother's face card. Instead, she's a spitting image of her father, Jay-Z, much to the apparent dismay of the glam team, who are constantly working overtime to soften certain features before she hits the stage or the gram. Word is, the young heiress is already hyper aware of what the public says about her looks. Yes, she read the comments. Blue Ivy read the comments. She has a cell phone. Insiders say she's starting leaning into makeup early. That's why she started leaning into makeup early, trying to tilt the scale more toward her mother's clone and less dad's twin. Some claim a long-term image strategy is in place that it could include future refinements once she's of age, just like Kylie Jenner. So they're thinking about giving, this is alleged, I think she looks beautiful, but this is what they're saying. Oh, Benton, Arkansas. How you doing, Eva? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me put you up there. Everyone say hi to Eva. Okay, so apparently they're saying they want to give Blue Ivy a nose job. Nose job rumors. Let's just say the conversation has been floating around. Meanwhile, Mama Bear is said to be pushing her behind the scenes to position her as the next big thing, whether she wants it or not, because they want to put Blue Ivy out there. Like, you're going to be the next best thing if I have to clone you into me, my goddamn self. This is what Beyonce is allegedly doing to Blue Ivy. So that's why she's putting Blue Ivy with makeup on now to contour her nose, pushing up her boobies and all those other things early because they're not happy with how she looks. I think she looks beautiful, but this is them. That's why. And they're making her dance and all this other stuff because they want her to take over with the tours or whatever they want her to take over for. So this is what they're saying allegedly. Now, after all, what's a billion-dollar brand without a legacy act? And this is apparently, they're talking about Blue Ivy Carter, Beyonce, Tina Knowles, and Jay-Z. So this is why they put Blue Ivy with makeup on early, because they are not happy with the way she looks. She apparently should favor her dad more, and they contour her nose with all this makeup and stuff to make her look more like Beyonce. And they apparently going to probably more than likely start to do it to the young child as well. But I heard the young child allegedly have mental problems. I'm not sure what they call it. I don't know. And I'm not trying to talk about these beautiful children. I'm just telling you what's out there. So apparently the younger one, the Rumi, is that her name? Is you know, she's challenged. She's mentally challenged, so to speak. So that's what they're saying. Hit that like button, you guys. Now we have Beyonce Cowboy Carter Tour. Oh, I'm not done yet. Apparently Beyonce Cowboy Carter Tour isn't selling out, and that is why she keeps lowering her prices. Here's what it's been saying verbatim, okay? It seems like the Europe shows, because they are, this is what they're saying, the Europe shows, because they are reasonably priced, are selling fine. Like her shows in Europe, London, all those places are selling wonderfully, okay? But they're not sellouts. I mean, she's not selling out like she used to now with this tour, but it's ugly. It says here, but not ugly like the U.S. tour. So the one named permanent A-list singer just trying to tread water into Europe and quietly lower prices in the U.S. to super low just to fill up the seats. So she's literally lowering the prices to so fucking low just so she can fill up the seats, but she's not able to, which coincide with the rumor that she didn't really earn. Well, I think she earned it with the Lemonade album, and I think she should have got it with that, and maybe a couple of albums too. But definitely Lemonade album. She should have got the album of the year then. But this coincide with the rumor that Jay-Z bought her the album of the year for the Cowboy Carter tour. He bought it or bribed whoever, whatever the fuck he did. He's being real deviant behind closed doors. So she didn't really win or earn the Cowboy Carter album of the year. it was bought. Hence these seats, because if she really earned it, these seats will be filled, just like Taylor Swift's and Carrie Underwood or whoever else is out there who's country artists. But as you can see, they're empty. These are the VIP seats, and they're empty. These are the seats here. As you can see, they're not filled at all. They're practically empty. So if you see her doing videos or whatever you want to call it, or previews, she's digitally including or enhancing the seats to make them look fuller. So she's putting more people in the seats to make it look like it's fuller and adding special effects. But her concerts are really not selling at all. I think the one that may have sold out was the one here in Los Angeles. Other than that, they're not selling at all. And that's a fact. Here's another blind item. Oh, I'm still not done yet. There seems to be, oh, here's more seats right here. See, you see these seats? You see, if you zoom in your phone, you would see here that they're practically empty. See, they're practically empty. The VIP seats are not selling at all. These are the VIP seats. They're not selling at all. And this is where you can see her coming on stage. You get to get behind the scenes, autographs, all that. And they're empty. Because they were like $700 and she's luring them. So yes, that's telling you the Cowboy Carter album did not sell as much, and her husband more than likely bought her that Grammy of the Year. So there it is. And I'm still not done yet, okay? We're gonna have a flashback here. There seems to have been a feud between Kelis, I think that's what her name is, and Beyonce back in the day. Here's what they're saying verbatim. This feud was way before certain megastar singer were. That is true. That is definitely true. That is definitely true. She definitely have a connection with Diddy, and those prices are pretty high. Here they are. Now, just say this. Way before a certain megastar singer was sampling tracks and sparkling headlines over creative ownership, she was allegedly causing sparks of another kind that nearly turned a VIP section into a battleground. According to a former industry photog turned gossip spiller, the tension between two iconic female artists didn't start with the song. It started at a Manhattan after party for a Rap Kings album drop in the mid-2000s. Now picture this. One R&B wild child with a raspy voice and zero filter, Kelis, I think that's the pronounced name. One polished pop princess in a designer flamboyant gown, Beyonce. And one legendary rapper caught right in the middle, Nas. And their very famous significant others were there too. Now, the edgy singer known for her futuristic style and don't mess with me attitude had always had it out for the other starlet. Why? Allegedly, she believed the pop queen bit her whole, seemed like aesthetic, her vocals. They saying this was Kelis saying, she's saying that Beyonce bit her vocals, her aesthetic vocals, visuals, and even her persona apparently. And if you believe the whispers, the beef wasn't just about fashion, it was also about a man, Nas. Remember, there was a rumor that Beyonce was dating Nas before, well, after her childhood boyfriend, Lindell, she started dating Nas, and then she started dating Jay-Z. Now, certain godson, MC, was once rumored to have caught the attention of the pop princess before she publicly booed up with a certain Brooklyn billionaire, Jay-Z. Fast forwarding to the party, the drinks are flowing, the cameras are rolling, and the pop queen is allegedly getting a little too cozy with the queen of Queensbridge man, Nas. Flirty touches, laughter, compliments. At one point, the R&B rebel snapped. Fuck that bitch. And a dramatic exit from a VIP followed. Allegedly, this wasn't just one night tip. It was the moment the gloves came off for good. The two women were never seen being friendly again. You'll never see them do a photo op again. And years later, when a certain track from the Rebel was sampled without heads up, that explosion wasn't just business. It was a revenge. Dish served fucking gold. Oh, and that footage, alleged, because it was footage, allegedly was confiscated on site by a very powerful mogul with a vested interest in keeping his future wife's image flawless. So apparently Jay-Z took that video and whatever else that happened that night, he scrapped it, because that's what he does. He makes things go away behind the scenes. He's more cavaliering and conniving and sneaky than out of flamboyant and just cocky ass Diddy. He does this shit behind the scenes in the dark corners and stuff. That's Jay-Z. Or he don't do it. He have other people do it. So safe to say, it'll never see the light of day. So apparently, if you guys haven't caught that, Beyonce pretty much stole a lot of Kelis' vibe and her man, because she dated him before she started dating Jay-Z, and after she dated her childhood boyfriend Lindell. And apparently they've been going at it ever since, stealing each other's music, stealing each other's style with the help of Jay-Z, taking a lot of Kelis' style and pretty much giving it tips to Beyonce, turning Beyonce into the perfect woman, molding her. You should understand, Beyonce was just a teenager, allegedly, if you believe her real age, when they first started dating. So he molded Beyonce just like Diddy was trying to mold, well, kind of mold Cassie. But Beyonce is molded. They both Virgos. Cassie and Beyonce are both Virgos. So there it is. So Beyonce is completely molded and brainwashed, apparently. And Kelis was calling her out on it, and they bumped heads a lot. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Definitely. Now, apparently, going back to her first love, you guys remember her first love, Lindell Locke? Oh, I'm still not done yet. Beyonce's first boyfriend, Lindell Locke, whom she allegedly gave her virginity to before hooking up with Jay-Z. She made the best thing she never had. So that's why she made that song, Best Thing I Never Had. Yeah. She made that song because of the fear of this rumor leaking. And they claimed she wasn't 13. She was around 13 when this happened. But the streets talk, her and Lindell was the same age. They were both 16, but whatever. So they're saying she was like 13, 14 in this prom picture. Sure. We can keep riding with that lie. Anyway, excuse me. They were the same age. Here's the prom picture here. Now, Lindell bought her first car. Here's what it says verbatim. Now, if you ask this singer about the car, she would tell you it was the beginning of the end. It was like a movie, how cursed the car was. Our singer, who claimed she was born in 1981, a permanently A-list, she is known all over the world, but for real. Matter of fact, let's go back to that so you guys can read along with me. You're going to go back to that so you can read along with me. Hold on. If you ask this singer about the car, she would tell you it was the beginning of the end. It was like a movie, how cursed the car was. Our single Beyonce, born in 1981, blah, blah, blah. She is known all over the world, but will also tell you that the car was like making a deal with the devil. She would never be able to break. A few months before our singer turned allegedly 16, she was dating this guy, Lindell Locke, a few years older than her. No, they was the same age. So she was actually turning 19, but we go ahead and let this ride. Anyway, they would go on dates and then hook up. Although later in life, she would deny this and say she was a virgin when she met Jay-Z. And then she met a guy named Jay-Z, who was born in 1969, who was much, much older, over a decade older. So he molded Beyonce into the perfect, you know what, as Diddy was doing to Cassie. They had mutual friends, and she was told it would be a good look for her career to know this guy. They started talking, and he would come into town every few weeks. This is Jay-Z. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I take that. Hold on, let me go. I think I'm getting this wrong because I'm reading this for the first time with you guys. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, we still talk about Lindell. We still talk about Lindell. He would come into town every few weeks for her 16th birthday. He bought her a car. Lindell bought her first car. He forced, this is Lindell, apparently. I'm not sure. He bought her first car, and he forced her to have sex with him in that car so she would always remember it. So apparently she gave up, you know what, with Lindell, allegedly. Okay. When he came into town a few weeks later and saw her boyfriend driving it, that's Jay-Z, I guess, he beat the boyfriend to within an inch of his life. He made our singer watch him beat the boyfriend and then made her watch him have sex with one of her best friends in the car too. Hold up. I need to go. Wait a minute. I need to go back. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. So she was telling you it was she don't want to tell you that the car was making a deal with the devil a few months before a singer turned 16. Yes, I had problems. Yes, I definitely did. I'm trying to get a lawyer, but no one's. It's like everyone is just mesmerized with the newbies. You know what I'm saying? And these newbies are making bank, seriously, with less work. Can't hate on them, but I'm just saying. So hold on. Okay, he made. Hold up. Wait a minute. So who bought the car? I gotta read this over to you guys because I'm reading this for the first time with you guys. Okay, she said if you ask the singer, she would tell you it was the beginning of the end. It was like a movie, how cursed the car was. Our singer Beyonce, born 1981, is permanently A-list. She is known all over the world, but will also tell you that the car was like making a deal with the devil. She would never be able to break. A few months before our singer turned 16, she was dating a guy, Lindell, a few years older than her. They would go on dates and then hook up. Although later in life, she would deny this. Then she met guy Jay-Z, born in 1969, who is much older, over a decade older. They had mutual friends, and she was told it would be it would be good for her. Remember, Jay-Z and her hooked up for publicity reasons. They were just hooked up for image to boost up. He came out with an album. She was coming out with an album, and he was supposed to boost her up. It's supposed to just been it was a contract. They started talking, and he would come into town every few weeks. Okay, I think we're still talking about Jay-Z. Okay. For her 16th birthday, he bought her a car. So Jay-Z bought Beyonce a car for her 16th birthday. Okay. He forced her to have sex with him in that car. Okay. So she would always remember it. When he came into town a few weeks later and saw her boyfriend driving it. Oh, okay. So Jay-Z bought Beyonce her first car when she was 16 and then raped her in the car. Okay, got it. Damn. So she was literally being treated like Cassie before Cassie became the person who she was known with Diddy. Well, that's fucked up. What was her parents? Never mind. What I'm saying, Tina, please. Matthew knows. Ha! Laughable. When he came into town a few weeks later and saw her boyfriend driving it, so Jay-Z beat the boyfriend too within an inch of his life. So he was literally hanging on by a thread. He made Beyonce watch him beat the boyfriend and then made her watch him have sex with one of her best friends in the car that he bought her. Wow. He drove her to one of her first big shows in that car and then hit her afterwards in the car because she didn't show him enough respect. Whoa. So he hit her in the car, like hit her. Of course, he didn't kill her. She's still alive because he was, wow. So Jay-Z was Diddy and Cassie, no, and Beyonce was Cassie before Cassie was known to be Cassie. So did Diddy learn some of his behavior from Jay-Z? Or were they just two assholes back in the day? I heard about that. I heard they did that. Yeah, I did. Share, you guys. Share. Help us out. But because she didn't show him respect in front of his friends. So Beyonce didn't show Jay-Z enough respect. So he just probably bumped her with the car that he bought her. Whoa. Can someone Google Beyonce's first car when she was 16? Google that and see. Oh, hold up. You know, never mind. I think I have it. For. He did. I'm not funding. It says to show him respect because disrespecting him in front of his friends, okay, who were at the show. Because, you know, Beyonce, she's country, she got a mouth. He then raped her in the car and then didn't see her for nearly a year. Wow. So he bought Beyonce her first car when she was 16, raped her in the car so they could always remember each other. And they broke up for about a year. Wow. And he denied that 13-year-old him and Diddy raped back in the day. Oh my gosh. When he came back to town a year later, the first thing he did was ask about the car. And they went for a ride. And he told her she needed to sign to a certain record label. He then raped her again in that car and said that they would be seeing a whole lot more of each other. That night, she set the car on fire, but she is still with the guy, which is, oh my gosh. Oh my God. And you know she didn't tell Matthew Knowles this shit. You know she didn't tell Matthew Knowles none of this. I guarantee she didn't tell him this. And you know, Tina, please, the dollar big enough, she's all for it, despite her I'm a Warrior book. Please. Oh my gosh. Guess what? I got proof, you guys. I got some proof. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Look. You guys remember in that Crazy in Love video? Remember? They blew up a car. She was in the back seat of the car. And this is them kind of introducing their love after the Bonnie and Clyde crap. This is them kind of introducing themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like a start over kind of shit. So they blew up the car. They blew up a car. They always do that. That car blowing up in the Crazy in Love video was Jay-Z. And it was in honor of his alleged first time they had intercourse and to mock blowing the car up. You know, they always mock their evil deeds in their videos. Remember the bat hitting the camera, and it was alleged that Kerry White got hit over the head with the bat. You know what I'm saying? They always do these things in their videos and their songs. Beyonce apparently told this story to old close friends, and all Jay-Z crew knew this already. They knew this already. They knew this shit was going on. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. So yes, Jay-Z was violent and cruel back in the day. Just saying. I don't even have to say alleged, but I already said alleged already, so I'm going to say alleged. So that car blowing up in Crazy in Love was in honor. So Beyonce was Cassie back in the day. Just want to point that out. She just stayed because, I don't know. You know, a prime example of a woman being beaten or have a man who is known to be violent is how she acts when her partner, and I've said this before, how she acts when her partner is irate or angry. So if her partner is irate and angry and he's yelling at someone else, if the wife or significant other is unable to calm their partner down or freeze up when their partner is fighting, someone yelling, cussing out, whatever, and the wife is standing up there frozen while he cussed out another individual, that means she don't want to be on the other end of his wrath, which means he probably was very violent to her. So when he gets angry like that, she's unable to calm him down because she knows she'll be on the other end of that wrath. I mean, it's a possible chance he might smack her or have smacked her. So when he got irate, always look at the spouse. A spouse should be able to calm her spouse down. If anyone can calm a spouse down, it should be the spouse or the significant other. But if the significant other is standing there frozen, that means she's afraid of him when he's upset. Doesn't that sound like the elevator situation when Jay-Z was yelling at Solange Knowles and Beyonce stood there frozen and didn't do shit? Even if it's her bodyguard standing there, she didn't do shit until later on. Think about that. That's a trained wife who knows not to get in the middle of his mouth. That's what that is. And then when they were leaving the elevator, he was pushing and trying to hit Solange. and the Beyonce just suddenly got in the middle as they were leaving because the elevator door was open at that time. You're not going to hit her in front of people. Yes, trained. She's trained. Now, I don't know if he's doing that now. I have no idea. She's kind of isolated right now. Her dad is not around anymore. And her mom only follows where the dollar goes. So I don't really know. But I'm just saying, trained. She was Cassie before Cassie was Cassie. I don't think he did the extreme orgies and stuff like that. I don't think they did all that. But he definitely was. I guarantee it. Oh, yeah. If I was her, I will go on tour. I will go on tour as much as I possibly can just so I can be free and not around him. I'll be busy all the fucking time. Movies, tours. God damn it, let's start a fucking podcast too. I'll be busy all the fucking time. Taking my kids right along with me. They'd be right in the studio, in the back, all with me, all the fucking time. You see me, you're going to see my kids. Tutor, coming right along with us. Absolutely, because I won't trust them around him. Yeah, isn't she? Yes, Tina Turner. Definitely Tina Turner. Yes, like Stepford wife. Yes, know how to glam it up in public. Know how to turn it on and off. Yes. Oh, yes. She is doing the tours. Yes, because she's Cassie. She's just more trained than Cassie and more, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Tina, we're going to put Tina, her mom, to help her do anything. Just saying. Yeah. Whew, that was something else, wasn't it? Let's move on to another blind item. I have a lot more blind items for you. I don't mean to get into all this other stuff, but let's move on. I'm trying to speed along here. I know, of course he knows who wants him at that concert. He knows. Trust me, he knows. So Rhianna and A$AP Rocky's relationship arrangement, it has been alleged that A$AP Rocky has been cheating on Rhianna for years, and their relationship is an arrangement. And she got pregnant in an attempt to save the relationship. It has been leaked that the foreign-born, one-name, permanent A-list, this is what it's saying. It has been leaked that the foreign-born, one-name, permanent A-list singer has no problem with the father of her children fucking OnlyFans models every night. But she had a problem with him talking up to the marijuana fiend Doja Cat. So she don't mind fucking the OnlyFans models every night, but linking up to Doja Cat, who's like kind of a softer image, or no, I'm gonna take that back, a younger version of her. She's not down for that shit. But it's okay to, you know, fuck the OnlyFans model every night or whenever, you know. That's allegedly Rhianna and A$AP. Oh, I'm not done yet. It seems that, and I'm reading this verbatim. Oh, yeah. Verbatim. Oh, yeah. Here's what it is getting really crazy. For real. Shut up. It's getting crazy. For real. It seems like the foreign-born, one-name, permanent A-list singer is pregnant by her long-term partner. They're saying, does she like him right now? No. Too many women have been happy to go public talking about their recent hookups with him. So plenty of women is dying to come forward about their recent hookups with A$AP Rocky, and all of them are not women. I'm being real here. They're dying to come forward and say they've been hooking up with him for years since they've been together. And Rhianna knows this, but this is alleged. Don't come in, Rhianna. I'm just reading what it says here. Oh, and guess what? It was told that Rhianna got pregnant again so she could delay her album another year or two. Here's what it says verbatim. Now that she is pregnant again, the former A+ list rapper can delay her album. They call her a rapper, but you know what they're talking about. Can delay her album yet again for another year or two. So they're saying she allegedly got pregnant not only to save the relationship, but so she can delay her album another year or two. And I was like, she might come out with another album. She probably come out pregnant with another album. You never know. But that's apparently why she got pregnant again. To save their relationship and so she can delay her album because she don't want to sing anymore. She don't want to do albums anymore. Reading your comments. What'd you say? That's what you heard, really? Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that. Newsflash to me. Newsflash to me. Disappointing. Okay, now let's get into the Diddy news because that's what y'all want to talk about. Okay, Diddy. It seems, here's another blind item. It seems that Diddy have been trying to intimidate and scare jurors, and his lawyers aren't saying anything. His lawyers know that Diddy have people out in the streets trying to intimidate and scare jurors. Matter of fact, it was a video that came out not too long ago of one of Diddy, excuse me, hold on just a second here. It was a video that came out too long ago of one of Diddy jurors, or the jurors in his trial, got hospitalized. I started to share it. Got hospitalized. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Here's what it says verbatim. I don't know if they are actually getting paid, but there are definitely people associated with the producer / wannabe rapper who are following jurors and looking for things to exploit. So that he's trying to cheat his way into winning this case. He's trying to intimidate the jurors. So if so happened with all this evidence of racketeering and drugs and blah, 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 and killing and all this other stuff, if they still happen to say not guilty, it's because he intimidated and scared them to doing so. And guess what? His lawyers know this, and they're not saying shit because they want to win this case by any means necessary. Let the bad karma flow with these corrupted lawyers and Diddy. Oh, yes. Yes, Doja Cat. She do not like Doja Cat. She feared Doja Cat may replace her, which would never happen. I mean, Rhianna is one of a kind. Here is some videos here. She's going to explain the mannerisms of Cassie's husband during this trial.
From the moment that Alex Fine walks into that courtroom, because I was sitting behind him for most of the testimony days of Cassie. Like, if I lean my head forward because the pews are kind of smashed together, I would headbutt his back. When there were pictures of just Cassie on the exhibit screen, it seems like he would look at the screen. He would look at the exhibit. When it was a picture of Cassie and Sean Combs on the screen, I did not see him pivot any of the times. He's just looking straight at his wife. He will not look at those pictures. And those pictures are not salacious. They're like red carpet pictures, right? He won't look at them. But then when there's pictures of abuse, he will look at them. And not only did we notice and perceive that he looks at the evidence of the pictures that show the abuse, like bruising, he will look at it. And then we saw him look and glare at Combs, the defendant, and the family. Yeah. So it's like when it was Cassie, he would look and then he would look back at his wife. When it's Cassie and Diddy, he's just eyes fixated on his wife on the stand. And then when it's the abuse, he will look and then he won't look at his wife. He will stare down the defendant and the family members. And this is like multiple days too. And what's crazy is they're looking back.
Yeah. But like Alex Fine is like, I'm looking at all you corrupted bitchs. You know what I'm saying? He is not playing. Go ahead, Alex Fine. You are fine, boy. You are fine. Yes, you are. Now, a lot of people were wondering. Like, are there any RICO charges? All I'm hearing is domestic abuse. No. I know, I love her. All I'm hearing is domestic abuse. Yes, there is. Him transporting escorts, sex workers over to have intercourse with him is an example of what's going on here. Okay? That's RICO. Paying the orgies. The ex-workers coming out saying they were paid to do A, B, and C. That's trafficking. And he continuously did that even after breaking up with Cassie. And he was doing that before he met Cassie. With Jay-Z, allegedly. And Rick Ross. And other people. Just saying. So, French Montana. he did it with French Montana as well, which is another reason why I heard that Chloe stopped messing with French Montana, because she heard that he was getting backdoored by Diddy and doing them orgies. So that's why they stopped messing around with each other. I believe that not all of them came willingly, but I believe the dollar was so big, some of them may have did it, but when they got there, they probably didn't want to do it anymore. I know. I heard they had two. I know. I mean, he was ew. You know, you guys. I mean, here's the thing. Here, they said his Peter was Tootsie Roll size, correct? So that means, I bet that's the reason why. That is probably the reason why he wanted Cassie to always find these big Peter dudes, because his Peter was Tootsie Rollish, not the small Tootsie Roll, but the long, slender Tootsie Roll, and that's why he was obsessed with the big Peter dudes. I bet you that is the reason, you guys. And then I heard he was trying, in Kim Porter's book, he was comparing Peters to Tupac. And I heard Tupac is not big at all. He's not big at all. I'm just saying. May he rest in peace. Just saying. You going ahead, Shakia. What? Trafficking people, ex-worker. He was trafficking Cassie. And then he was trafficking and threatening some of the ex-workers into staying and coming back. And blackmail to not saying anything. Cassie wasn't the only female. Cassie, during the time of their freak-offs, Cassie made sure no other woman was there because she didn't want another woman to endure what she was enduring. So she took all of that because she didn't want someone else to endure. It wasn't because of jealousy. I mean, she's bisexual. She didn't want other women or young childs, for that matter, because he didn't care about age, to endure. But during her recovery between the FOs and her recovery from it, she don't know what the hell happened between those days. She admitted he was doing free calls when she wasn't around. She don't know. They didn't ask her those questions. She only answered the questions they asked. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing free calls without her, and she wasn't always around. She just wanted to make sure she was the only one doing them because she didn't want no one else to endure what she was going through. And she said that. She sacrificed herself. I've done that as myself. Sacrificed myself, for my daughter or whatever. I've done that. That those are instinct vibes. She was definitely there wasn't, Shaki, I'm glad you answered that question. Because I have a video explaining that. I don't know. He probably had little people when she wasn't around and after they broke up, because he was doing orgies long after they broke up. She was definitely controlled by Diddy. I don't know about the possessed part. She was definitely controlled by Diddy. Now, here is the breakdown of the RICO charge, because a lot of people are not understanding it. So I hope this will better understand.
Okay, so y'all keep saying this, and I'm going to explain how this is a RICO case, because clearly y'all don't understand what RICO is. And I'm tired of y'all.
He's talking low, so you might have to turn up your volume. I have mine turned all the way up, and he still sounds low, so I'm sorry.
So the quickest way I can break this down to y'all is RICO is racketeer, influence, corrupt organizations, right? Think of it as like organized crime. So the recipe that the government has to prove is 1, enterprise. That's any crew, company, record label, shell, LLC, formal or informal, right? That works together. 2nd, a pattern of at least 2 racketeering acts, and they both have to be committed within 10 years of each other. If you pull up RICO's official list of racketeering acts, sex trafficking and transporting someone for prostitution are both on that list. The third is it has to be a connection between 1 and 2. The crimes must have been helped, financed, or directed by the enterprise. So now let me break down Diddy's case so y'all understand it a little better. The racketeering conspiracy is they say Diddy planned or agreed to run enterprises that committed crime. They don't have to prove every act. They just have to prove that the agreement existed, right? Then there's 2 counts of sex trafficking. These are already 2 that's required for racketeering acts. Allegedly forcing or coercing somebody to travel for sex is a textbook predicate of RICO. Then there is 2 counts of transportation for prostitution. There's 2 more predicate acts right there. Moving someone across state or national lines so they can be sexually exploited is also on RICO's list. Now, why it's all falling under one RICO case is because the penalties are much larger when they're bundled together. And y'all keep saying, why are they talking about Cassie? So it's a storytelling advantage, right? It starts with victim number 1, who we all know is Cassie Ventura. It shows that the government can show the jury a pattern instead of 5 different related things. Also, they did a RICO case because of net casting, which means they can sweep in bodyguards, accountants, lawyers, other employees, anybody that helped keep that machine running, right? So basically, RICO means the feds think Diddy wasn't just messing up here or there, but he was running a whole operation. The sex trafficking and prostitution are specific crimes, and the racketeering charge says he used his people and businesses to commit them as a pattern. Hopefully that helped, because I'm tired of seeing that.
There you have it. Did that help, ladies and gentlemen? I hope that helped. If you have any more questions, let me know. There is no reasonable doubt. If this juror come back and say not guilty, it's because they were scared to do that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want another Donald Trump situation. Rigging shit. I got more videos. You know, I got you. You know, I got you. Now, going back to your question, Gail. Shakia. There wasn't a tape. That is a rumor. And she's about to explain it to you.
A lot of you guys reached out to me about this audio involving Prince that was said to be played in court. I'm here to tell you that's fake. No such audio was played in court. In fact, the time that Prince was mentioned was when Cassie said that she went to a once-in-a-lifetime event at Prince's house and didn't tell Diddy and then had to sneak out when Diddy showed up. This is a prime example of how misinformation gets spread. In fact, I looked into it and I realized that it's coming from 2 YouTube videos that are using AI-generated content.
His carefully controlled demeanor cracked as the final recording of the legendary artist echoed through the room.
Then went to the YouTube page, clicked on the channel, and saw they are posting all sorts of videos with false information, saying that Monique testified in court or that Kevin Hart is involved. You guys, no reputable outlet is reporting any such thing, not even close to it. But I do think it underscores the point and is a good reminder that when we are in the midst of something as sensational as this trial, that it is important to get our information from credible sources.
There you have it. So no, none of those people testified. If they testified, I would have personally came and posted on my post and told you guys. You know, I would have gave you all the tea, but they did not testify. That was a bull. Oh, yeah. Hugh Hefner was Epstein and Diddy a long time ago. I'm not sure about the violence, though. I didn't hear a lot of violence when it came to Hugh Hefner, but he definitely had a nice little prostitution thing going on, and legit prostitution, which is so ironic. Anyway, here's a recap of the trial.
Here's a recap of week 1 of the Diddy trial, where the government is trying to prove and how the defense is pushing back.
Turn
Interestingly
this
enough,
up here.
both sides start by telling the jury that there are 2 sides to Diddy. The boisterous, larger-than-life entertainer that we all know.
This is low, and I don't know. I got my thing all the way up, and this is low. So you guys may have to turn up your volume on this one.
And then the side that the public never saw. The government. This is a recap of week 1 of the Diddy trial, what the government is trying to prove and how the defense is pushing back. Interestingly enough, both sides start by telling the jury that there are 2 sides to Diddy. The boisterous, larger-than-life entertainer that we all know, and then the side that the public never saw. The government, though, focused entirely on the dark side, the Diddy that beat Cassie in an elevator lobby as she tried to leave an alleged freak-off. They say he preyed on her when she was 19 years old, trapping her into a predatory 10-album deal, killing her career, and spent years consumed by his depraved sexual fantasies. Cassie testified that Diddy introduced her to hard drugs and forced her to perform sex acts with male escorts that she had to find on sites like Craigslist, Backpage, and through escort services. She says these freak-offs would last for days and recalled the time where Diddy and a male escort were standing over her, urinating on her face while she choked. The recovery would also take days, hooked up to an IV. She described beatings and jealous rampages, including one incident where Diddy allegedly stomped on her face in the back of a black car for speaking to another man. Sometimes she says Diddy would get violent simply for making the wrong facial expression. When all was said and done, she says the security team and team of assistants cleaned it all up, prosecutors ending their questioning with a moment that stopped the room and left one juror in tears. Cassie told the court that 5 years after leaving Diddy, after getting married, after having kids, and trying to start fresh, she contemplated taking her own life because she said the pain and the trauma was too much to bear. But Diddy's defense team, comprised of some of the top trial attorneys in the country, are pushing back. First, they say that this was a toxic, volatile, but loving relationship, and that this case is a domestic violence case, not a sex trafficking case. They're not denying that Diddy was violent or that he abused substances, but they're saying at its core, this was a relationship that had its ups and downs. And they also were trying to tap into something more universal with a jury of 8 men and 4 women. They zeroed in on the jealousy and infidelity in the relationship on both sides. And despite the 17-year age difference, the defense says that Cassie was no ordinary 21-year-old when she got with Diddy. She was someone who already had money, access to powerful men like former Sony executive Tommy Mottola, Mariah Carey's ex-husband. And she was already experienced in dating older men. And just like she cheated on her boyfriend at the time, music producer Ryan Leslie, to get with Diddy, she also cheated on Diddy with men in the entertainment industry. He was furious and suspicious of men like Kid Cudi, Michael B. Jordan, Chris Brown. They also say that Cassie had her own jealousy streak, envious of his relationship with Kim Porter, and so desperate to be his official girl. The defense showed text messages from Cassie to Diddy where she said that she, quote, can't wait to do a freak-off, and that she wanted to do it, quote, for the rest of their lives. Through their line of questioning, the defense argued that these sexual encounters were consensual, consistent of a swingers lifestyle, a rock star lifestyle. They also pushed back on claims that Diddy killed her career, saying quite the opposite, pointing to the fact that the only reason that an up-and-coming artist like her was able to collaborate with Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Pusha T is because of Diddy. They also brought up that infamous 106 in Park performance where, in her own words, she said she bombed and Diddy helped her recover from, insinuating that maybe her career didn't take off because she didn't have what it took. They also pointed out that her pattern of infidelity continued right into her current relationship. This, as her now husband sits in the courtroom, questioning her about a moment where Alex Fine was FaceTiming her at 3 a.m. while she's in bed with Diddy. And finally, they brought up her drug use outside of Diddy and hinted that money troubles may have been the real motivation for filing that lawsuit.
There you go. There's a breakdown. There is your breakdown. And last but not least, the hidden cameras in the free calls from her. She's a very good person. I follow her, Kadisha. I think her name Kadisha. She be on it. I don't know how she sleeps, but the girl be on it.
Diddy's freak-off tapes of celebrities is being sold throughout Hollywood. Y'all, this is crazy. So a lawyer of one of the victims of Diddy said that another victim came to her and tried to sell her a video of Diddy and another high-profile celebrity that is bigger than Diddy on this freak-off tape. She explains how she saw the video for herself and could clearly identify whoever this celebrity is. And honestly, I want to know. She explains how this isn't the only tape that she's heard of, and she's heard that other tapes are being sold throughout Hollywood, basically as blackmail, saying, hey, you buy this tape or I'm going to make it exposed to the public. So I'm about to roll y'all this clip, and you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
Just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because, wait, say that again. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped? Yes, there have been people already shopping. We've heard about the tapes. The shopping thing is... Yes, they're already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood.
I told you
one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard this before. So like a catch and kill.
Catch and kill, correct.
Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on.
No, I can't explain who the person was, but Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it?
Or I've seen.
I want to see this tape.
Okay.
You can verify it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video is porn nature.
I want to see this
Diddy
tape.
Freak off tapes of.
I want to see this tape. Now to answer, hold on, let me answer some of your questions here. Yes, it was all AI generated. All AI generated. Yes. I don't know. YouTube is biased as hell. They blacklisted my shit and have my stuff going to like dead parts of the freaking America, and everybody else just open stream. Man, don't get me started on fucking YouTube, man. My email address should be below, or just email the Truth Show chat at gmail.com. You can email that, the Truth Show chat at gmail.com, if you need to email me. Okay. All right, so I am going to end it here. Do you guys have any questions before I go? I haven't eaten since breakfast. Honestly, I'm kind of hungry. I'm going to make me a burrito. I love Mexican food. You have any questions? No? Okay. Well, I'm out here. Then again, by the time y'all get this, I will be out here. But whatever. Just leave it below. And thanks to everyone who stayed throughout the duration of this video. I hope I entertained you as I normally do. You can still click the link. It'll be pretty much stuck in the chat, or it's in my description box. I appreciate all the donations. Thank you guys. You have a wonderful day. Bye.